Alright, step one for the Jim Lahey no-knead ciabatta recipe. First thing we're going to do is we've got bread flour. This is King Arthur. We're going to do 400 grams of bread flour. This will make 2 loaves. Next thing we need is 8 grams of salt. One gram of instant yeast that goes straight in. And last, we need 350 grams of cool water. Now we're just going to mix this together. I like to use a wooden spoon for this. Just kind of bring it together in a uniform mass. The gluten's going to form just with the flour and the water being in contact with each other. So you just kind of want to mix that yeast throughout the whole thing. We're not really kneading this, just mixing everything, just stirring it all together. I like to scrape the sides down just a little bit. And that is it. That's all we're going to do. We're going to wrap this. We're going to cover it and let this sit out for 12 to 18 hours or more, depending on how warm or cold your house is. Alright, so it's been about 18 hours, and we're going to take a look at our dough. And it looks like this, pretty good. We're going to heavily flour the bench because this is a real liquid dough. And use our spatula to help get it out of the bowl. I'm going to flour the top of it. Make sure we use a lot of flour because it's going to want to stick. We're shooting for a 14-inch square. See how stretchy this is, how much gluten is developed here? With no kneading at all. That's about right. I'm going to get any excess flour off the top. We're going to fold it once this way. And fold it once this way. Into a roughly 7 by 7 inch square. And then we're going to let this proof for about another hour. I'm going to move it to a board. I like to do this on a board, and then we're just going to cover this with a tea towel. Just like that. Alright, so we got our oven preheating at 475. In here I've got a cordite pizza stone. We're going to actually bake the bread on that. Underneath I've got a baking steel in here. It's about a 3/8 inch piece of steel, and that's going to act as a thermal capacitor. It's going to absorb heat from the oven and radiate it back in during the baking process, which is going to help keep steady temperatures. Pizza stone we're going to bake the bread on, and then the inverted Dutch oven is actually going to create an oven inside an oven, which is going to keep the steam held in, which is going to make a crispier crust and a tender, moist crumb on the bread. So that's our plan: oven inside an oven. Alright, it's been about an hour or so. We're going to take the tea towel off and take a look at this. Now we're going to cut this with a sharp serrated knife, very gently down the middle because we're going to make 2 loaves. This is delicate at this point, you want to handle it gently because there's a lot of trapped air in the dough. It's still a very, very wet dough, which that's what ciabatta should be. Alright, so it's time to bake. I'm going to pull open the oven, use these heavy gloves, pull this out, and get ready to finish shaping our ciabatta and get it on the stone as fast as I can here. Right, you just kind of want it to be like a 10-inch long flat loaf like this. We're going to lift this up, lay it down on the stone, just like that. Put the gloves back on, and we're going to cover it with this blazing hot Dutch oven inverted bottom. Get it back in the oven as fast as possible. There we go. That's going to bake for 20 minutes. Alright, it's been 20 minutes, and we got to take the cover off of our bread. So we'll pull this out and do this quickly. You might get steam burn, so we're going to get that out of there as fast as possible. Push that back in, get the door closed. Now I'm going to invert this pot on my burner and turn on the flame on low, just to keep it warm. So if you have space in your oven, you could put that not on top of the bread in your oven somewhere, but if you don't, just throw it on a burner like that. Alright, it's been about another 15 minutes, and it looks like we are at a nice light chestnut color. So we're going to go ahead and pull this one. This looks to be done. I don't know if you can see that. Looks great. I'm going to put it on this rack over here, and we'll get ready to bake the next one.